In 1957, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik 1, marking the official beginning of the space age. However, a dedicated group of researchers maintains that Sputnik was preceded by a far more ancient artificial satellite. Photographs from the 1998 NASA STS-88 mission captured this, a dark, jagged object hovering over the curvature of the Earth. Researchers identified this silhouette as a 13,000-year-old probe, supposedly sent from the Epsilon Boötis star system to monitor humanity's development. This physical object became the focal point for a century of anomalous radio signals and secret military reports. In 1899, Nikola Tesla was conducting high-voltage experiments at his laboratory in Colorado Springs. While tracking lightning storms, his equipment intercepted a series of rhythmic, mathematical radio signals that didn't match any known natural phenomena. Tesla concluded he was receiving a transmission from another planet, providing the first foundational evidence for an extraterrestrial presence in our orbit. By 1927, amateur radio operators began reporting long-delayed echoes, signals that behaved in ways that defied current physics. When a radio signal is broadcast into space and bounces back several seconds later, it suggests a massive reflection point. At that speed, the signal delay indicated the waves were hitting an object hidden in a very high orbit. In 1954, national newspapers reported that the U.S. Air Force was tracking two unknown satellites moving in polar orbits, technology no nation on Earth yet possessed. Internet researchers eventually stitched these events, Tesla's signals, the delayed echoes, and the 1954 reports, directly onto the 1998 NASA photographs to create an overwhelming case for the Black Knight. Examining the timeline with modern data reveals that this singular myth is actually composed of several unrelated phenomena. Astronomers today can identify the exact celestial sources that Tesla's equipment was picking up in 1899. Tesla was likely hearing the planet Jupiter, which generates powerful, rhythmic radio emissions as it rotates. The remaining signals were likely electromagnetic noise from pulsars, celestial objects that would remain undiscovered for decades after Tesla's death. The 1954 newspaper reports regarding unknown satellites also have a documented human origin. Those articles were part of a PR campaign organized by UFO researcher Donald Keyhoe to generate interest in his upcoming book on flying saucers. While planetary radio waves and marketing stunts explain the historical signals, they don't account for the physical object photographed by the crew of the Endeavour. During the 1998 STS-88 mission, astronauts were busy with the initial construction of the International Space Station. Astronaut Jerry Ross was tasked with a spacewalk to install thermal blankets, material that is silver on one side and black on the other, over the station's hardware. Suddenly, a tether snapped during the installation process, and one of the thermal blankets floated away from the station. NASA tracked this debris for several days to avoid a collision. During this window, the famous photographs were taken, before the blanket fell out of orbit and incinerated in the atmosphere. The supposedly ancient extraterrestrial watcher was a lost piece of space hardware that has long since ceased to exist. The Black Knight satellite is a creation of the digital age, born from combining natural space noise with a piece of lost equipment. The legend persists because we often interpret the vast silent vacuum of space through our desire to find company among the stars. Our imagination is capable of weaving a century of unrelated facts together to transform a lost thermal blanket into an alien sentinel.